more to make sure they're making the same. They told me they couldn't stomach charging customers more than $100 for 50 wings. Take a listen.
We're not going to make a social media post that says, here was our previous cost and here's our current cost and you figure it out kind of thing. It's like we just have to sort of have that long face, and they kind of realize like, hey, we know you don't want to increase the price, but we have to stay open.
You know, Lauren, we've now hit this really high inflation rate. It's the highest we've had in 40 years. And the question is, when will demand die off? When will it be too much for the consumer? Doesn't seem like now is yet that point, because they've prepared 50,000 wings for this Sunday.
And right now you can try it risk-free and enjoy special savings too. Get on-demand workouts free shipping, and more. Call now.
Hi, I'm Jane King, and this is New to the Street, in person back here at the NASDAQ market site in New York City. This show is all about public, private blockchain companies, the CEOs, the founders, and the innovators, bringing you lots of opportunities to consider. Here we go. With me is Patrick Bertagna, the CEO of GTX, and we're going to learn about GTX today and what all this company is about. So welcome, Patrick, and let's just start. Tell me about GTX. So what is the company? What is the mission?
We're in the health and safety business. We operate under 3 different business units. So we have our tracking and monitoring solutions. We manufacture and distribute medical supplies, and we license intellectual property.
Okay, so we got a nice overview. Can you give us a little more detail about each of those 3, exactly what happens in those units?
Certainly. So our in our tracking and monitoring unit, we're probably best known for our flagship product, which is the GPS Smart Soul. You may have seen this on the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show. It's an embedded GPS device intended to track and monitor people with cognitive memory disorders. Then in our medical supply division, we manufacture and distribute everything from masks to sanitizers, gloves, UV systems, and we sell that to both the consumer and to the medical community. And then we have a pretty extensive intellectual property portfolio and patents, and we license that out to other technology companies.
Interesting. Masks, sanitizers, COVID-19 test kits. I mean, that's a super hot area right now.
It is.
So, well, let's talk about your customer base. So who would your customers be?
So we sell everyone from the U.S. government to small, medium-sized businesses, to the medical community. We do a lot direct to consumer. We have a presence in over 35 countries. Many of our products are reimbursement eligible, so we work with insurance companies and government agencies as well, fire departments, police departments. We have a pretty wide gamut of customers, both domestically and international.
Well, and it's really interesting that you have, the masks, and these are some of the high quality masks, like the N95 masks and things, sanitizers. I mean, because early in the pandemic, we realized how much of this we get from overseas, but these are all made in the U.S., right?
A lot of them are, yes. We make our sanitizers we make in the U.S., some of our masks we make in the U.S., our face shields we're making in the U.S., as many products that we were able to source material for early on in the pandemic and manufacture and secure sourcing and manufacturing in the U.S., we did. I mean, obviously, we weren't able to do everything, but we did our best we're big promoters of Made in USA.
Okay. Very interesting to learn about GTX today, Patrick. I look forward to some more updates this year.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? by using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. Pharma Green Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. Pharma Green services includes premium tissue culture starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with Pharma Green. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Tonix is a biotech company working to fight COVID-19 with two different next-generation COVID vaccine candidates, an antiviral and also a treatment for long COVID. And with me is CEO Seth Letterman to explain where they are in this fight. And Seth, I look forward to your update because I know the last time we talked, you were working on a vaccine as well. So looks like you've got a broad number of candidates here, broad number of products to fight COVID. Can you bring me up to date on what you've got going?
Thank you, Jane. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, we're working in a number of different ways on COVID because no one could have predicted how wily this virus could be, how much it's mutating, how much it's frustrating all of our efforts to evade it. Currently, there are three arms to the fight against COVID: the mRNA vaccines, the antivirals, and the monoclonal antibodies. And what we're finding is that the existing mRNA vaccines have limited abilities. They have short duration of protection, only 4 to 6 months, and they don't block forward transmission. On the antivirals, really you have remdesivir from Gilead as being the anchor of the antiviral treatment. And that's already had some resistant strain documented against it. The Pfizer drug is very interesting, but it's limited because it can't be taken by many people who are older on other medicines. And then finally, the monoclonal antibodies. There were 4 approved, and now 2 of them have been shown not to work against Omicron, so they aren't working. So we're not in a good position right now as a country, as humanity, in terms of fighting COVID. So Tonix is proud to have many programs underway. We really think that by having more programs underway, we're able to take the expertise we have in animal models, in looking at the human immune response, and in understanding the virus itself to bring forth better candidates. Mm-hmm. So one of our vaccines is a live virus vaccine, TNX 1800, and we believe that will provide durable immunity, for years, decades, maybe lifetime, because it's in a live virus vaccine vector. We have an antiviral that has recently been studied by NIAID, that's Dr. Tony Fauci's division, and shown to be 65 times more potent than remdesivir, and to work together with remdesivir in an additive way. And then also long COVID, huge problem. About a third of people who recover from COVID get long COVID. And we have a treatment that we expect to be in clinical trials this half to start to address long COVID.
Is there efficiencies in working on all 40s, even though they're not exactly the same thing? Is there some overlap that helps with the development? Yes. And that's an excellent question. And that's why we are working on them, because we do feel that we can take the expertise in, large animal models, non-human primates, small animals, hamsters, mice, et cetera. And then also, in tissue culture in the lab, that all of those
are similarly used across the different modalities, and we have expertise in all three. Furthermore, we're studying in two programs that we've publicly disclosed, CoVlogic and Precision. We're studying the human immune response to COVID. So together, all of these things give us, I think, an advantage of seeing a bigger picture and in efficiently studying these different things. And also, as I think we spoke about last time, we have a approximately 40,000 square foot facility in Frederick, Maryland, that is dedicated completely to, virus, antiviral vaccine research. Frederick, Maryland is, right in the heart of the biotech corridor, and not only that, the biodefense and pandemic preparedness corridor of Maryland. And, that's a very important aspect in our ability to run these programs and really contribute to the fight against COVID.
Well, thank you, Dr. Letterman, for explaining that, and good luck on your efforts. And it's a fight I think we're going to be fighting for quite some time.
Thank you, Jane.
Thanks.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. Pharma Green Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. Pharma Green services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with Pharma Green. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Cyber attacks are a global threat that affects everyone. For over 20 years, Strikeforce has developed leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Visit StrikeForceTech.com.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
AITX makes smart security robots and has been very busy updating the products and unveiling new things. So I've got with me CEO Steve Reinhardt to talk about everything you've been up to. So Steve, give me a kind of a capsulated, and then we'll go deeper into detail.
Sure. Jane, it's been incredible since we've last talked. And I want to be very specific. I don't want to fill our call with, hyperbole. Over the past 2 months since we've talked, we've closed some major new deals. We've raised some money at great prices for our retail stockholders. We've unveiled new products. We've added new team members. And we've done all of that in 2 months. It's been a whirlwind. And of course, Jane, as all that's been going on, we've had folks on the team and off the team for a little bit fighting COVID. It's been a remarkable 2 months.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, despite all of that, you still have made progress. Just even surviving is kind of hard enough, but you've managed to move forward quite a bit too.
Absolutely, we have. Yeah. And I talk about this all the time with the folks who follow the company, but it comes down to the team. We just have a great team that runs in sync and covers for each other, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the robot dog. Where does that stand or sit? But
Dog jokes. Nice. Nice, Jane. I love it. Listen, we're in development. I had said that it would be out, third quarter, hopefully, and definitely by fourth quarter. We're really shooting for second quarter, for the end of second quarter with it. And the collaboration is coming along pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And this is just for property security protection, right? The dog.
starting with those features.
Okay.
We want to bring to market the new proverbial junkyard dog. And we want to make it accessible to everybody. And maybe one of the best things is there's no cleanup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very true. And also, so you're developing the brains for the dog, right? I guess would be the software. And then another company's doing the body. How does it all work? How does that work?
Well, there's a true technical collaboration, and they're doing, all the dog work, right? They have custom motors that move all the pieces and motor controls that handle all that. What we are doing is we're adding the navigation stack, which we've really pioneered through Romeo, as well as what we call our RAD pack, which is all the intelligence for the security package.
And if the RAD pack is separate, the intelligence, does that mean you might be able to use it for other devices?
It's exactly what we're doing, exactly what we're planning on doing. And we do that under our RAD Group subsidiary. Okay.
And now, robo-dogs, of course, we've talked about those, but you're now developing autonomous delivery vehicles? You really have got a lot going on.
Goodness. Oh, my goodness, Jane. That is true. In December, we announced it. Now, it's been something that we've been working on for a year and a half. It's just I needed to get Romeo to a certain point, and we're doing Romeo deliveries this month, which is huge. A couple of our early adopter customers are super excited to get their devices. But the plan was always to build a multifunctional chassis that could have applicability in other industries. The delivery vehicle is just the first iteration of that.
Okay. Do you have any plans for the delivery vehicle? I know there's some other companies working on it. Are there any specific target markets you're looking at with that?
There are. We're looking for campuses, basically closed environments. To start with. So again, large corporate campuses, college campuses, enclosed housing communities, those types of areas is where our starting market is. Now, from there, we've already started talking internally about doing last mile delivery, but I've got to stay focused. We've got 15 or something development projects that I want to bring to market or finish or polish to some extent this year. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Yeah. It's a lot to keep track of. Romeo. So explain Romeo and update us on Romeo.
Romeo provides patrols and interaction with either good guys or bad guys on projects of different types. This could be recreational projects, this could be housing projects, this could be shopping areas, whatever it might be. But what it's designed to do is both alleviate the requirement for physical security guards to perform those services. And we have a massive human resources shortage in the security industry right now that we hope to fill with our devices, including Romeo. And it performs the operations of a security officer, or many of the operations of a security officer, in many cases even better than a human can perform.
Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes robots do kind of beat us. Steve, I am looking forward to getting all these updates on all these products and things that you're working on this year. So thanks for joining us, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Jane. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
Here at Glint, we're making money fairer. How? By using gold. Glint lets you store, exchange, send, and spend multiple currencies, including gold, through a simple iPhone or Android app. You can spend your currencies and your gold in small or large amounts using the Glint MasterCard. Register for your Glint account today by downloading the app from your favorite app store. Glint, the global currency.
Growing clones in-house can severely drain both quality and costs for cannabis and hemp businesses. Pharma Green Biotech is the key to growing high-quality plantlets. Pharma Green services includes premium tissue-cultured starter plantlets and live preservation of any plant species. Grow into the future of optimized plant growth with Pharma Green. See our update at update.pharmagreen.ca.
Cyber attacks are a global threat that affects everyone. For over 20 years, Strikeforce has developed leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Visit strikeforcetech.com.
Welcome to New to the Street. This is your secure segment with Elaine Guy. Elaine is with GlobeX Data, the leader in Swiss-hosted private and secure communications and data management. Welcome back, Elaine.
Thank you, Anna, and hello to our viewer.
All right, let's talk about the hack of the day. Login credentials. We all have to do it. And often we think if there's the 2FA, that two-factor authentication app that we install or it's there for us, we think it's safe, right? No, think again, especially from the recent article we're reading from Google Play, more than 10,000 downloads of this 2FA. And guess what? They're now exposed, especially their financial information. So tell us what happened and how we can avoid this.
Sure. So in this case, apparently there's an application called 2FA Authenticator, which since then Google Play Store has removed. But what it is this is one of those many applications where, let's say, some people that are a little bit more savvy technically, let's say they have their own VPN, they configure their own. These are mostly open source type software that are out there, unproven, unsecure. And here the 2FA, which is two-factor authentication. It's typically when you log into a website and then you're waiting for an SMS text to come to you, and then you have to put that little number that they send you. Now, in the US and North America, it is extremely well documented that those are fairly useless because most of the phone numbers have been spoofed, they're being recycled and so forth. That's a whole other discussion. But in this case, what happened is some people say they go to a website and they need a two-factor authenticator. They download one for free. In this case, 10,000 people downloaded. And what it did is that, let's say you go to, it doesn't have to be your bank, but maybe you put your credit card number to log in and buy something. It has gone into your phone and basically there's a malware that siphons your entire financial information. So that's pretty dangerous. And if you go to your e-banking using an application, I'm guilty of doing that myself. I'm not a fan of using the phone for that. But what I do is they don't have a 2FA. Mine has, you have to put your username and password. If it's a different device, it may send you, verify the IP address and then sends you a code to make sure it's you. But I use my fingerprint. A lot of people are against that kind of thing. But really, the fingerprint authenticator is the best one to have. It's what they call sometimes passwordless authenticator. So I don't believe in those 2FAs. We try to implement a couple. It's a comfort that some consumers may have, thinking that they have the security. This is just another example of, no, you don't have extra security. Right. I'd say biometrics are the best security you can have out there. So unfortunately, if you have been one of the 10,000 that have suffered from that, I would recommend to completely change everything. So if you went to a website and put some of your credit card info or your banking or what have you, then completely change your password, your username, your email, etc. Obviously, uninstall the application. Make sure you don't just delete, you have to push uninstall, and that it's no longer on your phone. That's what I would recommend. It's
That's good advice.
That these things happen, that they happen every day now.
Happening more and more. So talk to us about secure. Have you all implemented 2FA?
It's a good question. So we have a plan to implement a version of a 2FA, I think in Q2. That means by June. But the big picture that we're trying to do is to use a company that I'll give them a little bit of free publicity here. It's called Hyper, HYPR. I've known them for 10 plus years. They're amazing. And they have all the certification. Many institutions use them. And they have what they call passwordless authentication or biometrics. It's a bit more complicated to install them. You need to do another installation with what we call a single sign-on, an SSO. And once we implement a SSO, then we can do that. But it's expensive. It costs $1 per month per user. So imagine if we charge $5 for the Messenger or $7 for the email only, $1 is just our cost for the authenticator. So we have to see what we will do. Our plan is to implement what they call passwordless biometrics, the latest technology you can get, hopefully by the end of 2022, and then we will see, do we charge extra, do we give an option to a consumer, or do we just absorb the cost and have that as an edge to the competition? But we are planning to do step-by-step those things.
Right.
Yeah. So I have a little tip for someone, if you're listening out there. As a password, I met quite a few of these, specialists in crypto, encryption and whatnot. And a lot of time they say a sentence is actually the best password. Obviously not a sentence. Like if you play golf, don't write your password being, I like to play golf. It has to be something completely different because there's a complexity to that is bigger than some of these passwords that you would choose. Obviously, the best thing to do is try to get a password manager. And if you want to make yourself a complex one, we have that in our Secure Suite application where you create a password, it does it for you. And if you want to have your own, it measures how strong it is. But, passwords are a tricky thing. It's not a simple thing to manage. And I feel sorry for people who have been breached because their password wasn't too strong or the 2FA was just, not really a real security that's supposed to provide, right? So it's related to your phone number. So that's the danger. You send a text to someone, think about it. And then if your phone number is part of ones that are being watched, then they can read that text too.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's reiterate. Change your password and maybe use a sentence, right? Or the thumbprint. What about facial recognition?
Facial is good. I myself have a sticker on my cameras, front and back. So if I have to use a facial one, every time I have to take the sticker in and out, it's a bit of a pain. So I use the finger biometric. And you can have different finger. I use a Samsung S21 or whatever. I had an S9 not long ago. And you can have different fingers. And if you want to have fun with it, on some application, you use the thumb, and then you can change to the index. Whatever you want, you can have fun with it. Register more than one fingerprint, both hands. And a lot of our consumers at the beginning, they said, well, I don't want to put my biometrics. It's not going to Google. It's really the biometric that's captured in the phone device. So there's a fine difference between sending your data to a cloud or having it on device. Eventually, yes, one can argue, but really you don't have a choice.
Right, we don't have a choice.
Biometric could be your eye for people who take a lot of photos and don't have stickers on their phone, or, because that camera can be remotely potentially activated. If you don't have anything like that, the iris biometric is really good. I recommend that. Some people have the voice, but biometric as opposed to 2FA, definitely.
All right, thank you. And also, you've recommended getting a password manager, even if you have to pay for it. So that's another good tip for our viewers.
Yes, get a password manager. Unfortunately, our password manager is part of the Secure Suite, which is $50 a month. It's a business document management tool with password management and email. We are thinking of doing a password manager on its own, but there's 2 or 3 good password managers out there. Pay your $9, $10 a month and get a good one, and change your passwords every few months if you can.
Well, as always, thank you so much for helping keep our important information secure and private. Thank you for joining us again, Elaine.
Big thing about the American dream is we can dream big. We want to help you get to the next level. We are invested in your success, not merely your financial success, but in your independence.
Fox Business, invested in you.
Okay, look, we got time for one play. Let's do this.
Coach, I got this. I watch tons of live sports on Sling TV. Hook shot from half court.
Sling has the best of live sports, news, and entertainment. Try it free. Sling.
The gift of love, high-quality lab diamonds. Diamond hearts, just $99. 1-carat solitaires, $9.90. 2-carat studs, $19.90. 3-carat 3-stone rings, $34.90. Buy factory direct and save.
Hi, I'm Selene. I like to work in the garden, but sometimes
we're gonna do some freaky stuff. It has been a tough transition, but he is my soulmate.
Dating has got a hot new home.
You're my secret crush.
Let's do this.
We'll do anything for love on Discovery Plus. Stream for just $4.99.
If you've ever considered getting a walk-in tub, we have great news. For a limited time, when you purchase a Safe Step walk-in tub, we'll upgrade your order to include a free shower package. Yes, a free shower package. With Safe Step's shower package, you can conveniently shower in your brand new walk-in tub. And if you call today, you'll also receive $1,600 off your entire order. Now, you can finally enjoy the best of both worlds with the therapeutic benefits of a warm, soothing bath that can help increase mobility, relieve pain, boost energy, and improve sleep. Or if you prefer, you can take a safe, refreshing shower all in one amazing product.
Gasoline up 22%. If you're a hardworking, middle-class, blue-collar family, the inflation tax is hitting you hard. This is for production and non-supervisory workers, not